Hey, everybody out there in YouTube land. Jake of the OneManBand is back again, and let's talk about our favorite RWBY character. Ever since Neo appeared back in Volume 2, she has literally stolen the hearts of the RWBY community and fandom. Whether she's kicking somebody's butt, being devious, or being that person that's in disguise, she has always been a favorite to the fans, which is all the more reason why we wanted to see her in Volume 4. But then it didn't happen. After the big climax of the RWBY Volume 3 finale and the death of Roman Torchwick, we were all wondering, well, what happened to his crony? What happened to his partner in crime? What happened to Neo? Some of us thought maybe she joined the rest of the Chaos Syndicate, but then we didn't see her with the villains during Volume 4. Nor did we see her on the road trying to hunt down RWBY because she blamed her for Roman's death. And so we come to the conclusion that we just don't know where she is. And that's when the theories started to pop up. A lot of people have been theorizing and wondering, where is Neo? Where is she right now? When will she come back up into in the series? And when are we going to know what actually happened to her during this time? Or maybe even some backstory to her with Roman. And let me tell you, I got plenty of questions during RWBY Volume 4 asking me where was Neo. It seemed like people didn't understand that I had no idea where she was either. Every single episodic review I put out, there is at least one question asking me, where was Neo? Where was Neo? Do you have any idea where Neo is? We need Neo in the volume! And, well, I'm finally going to address those questions in this video. Now, thanks to another YouTube content creator that follows RWBY and Rooster Teeth, I was able to find some good information about the status of Neo currently. And I'm gonna suggest you guys go and watch the video that I watched. There's an excerpt from an interview and a podcast in that video where it's Miles and Carrie and I think Barbara talking about Neo's status, and we gotta show this guy who made this video some love. So go check out his channel, subscribe, comment, tell him that, you know, Jake sent ya, and pretty much I'm just gonna be giving the clip notes version of his video, the information that his video gives right now. So it has been confirmed that Neo is indeed alive. So all those theories about her actually being dead and killed by the Grimm at the Battle of Beacon are kind of shot down now. Neo is indeed alive, and according to the creators, she's Mary Poppinsing somewhere, floating around, maybe doing her thing, but they would not give a plot condition, like a condition plot-wise of where Neo was. They wouldn't state where she was, or who she was with, or what she was doing. They said that we just have to wait and see what'll happen to her. So it is confirmed that Neo is going to be part of future volumes. Now, we could probably just end the video right here stating that Neo's probably going to be in Mistral. I mean, that's where the story seems to be going right now, and especially with Volume 5, with all of our main characters being in Mistral at the same time, it would make sense that Neo would be there as well, because that's where the action is. But you see, my friends, that's not good enough. That's not good enough. We need to dive into the story, the lore, and the reasoning of RWBY itself to figure out a reason why Neo would be in Mistral besides plot convenience. And to get that, well, we kind of have to go back to when we first met her. Now, Neo wasn't initially planned to be existing at the beginning of RWBY. Neo was pretty much created from a fan submission of a gender-bent Roman Torchwick type character that Monty loved so much, decided that it needed to be in the series. And thus Neo was created to be sort of Roman's second-hand man, was his partner even. And isn't it funny how these small villains end up holding on to our hearts so well? We have to remember, Roman was meant to be a one-off villain. He wasn't meant to stick around as long as he did. And that's kind of why they had to resort to killing him at the end of RWBY Volume 3. If they didn't, he would have just kept sticking around because the fans loved him so much. And I know that I've already talked about how the deaths of Volume 3 meant something more. And his death means so much more than just a death of a person. But for the sake of this video, he died because he needed to. But that really brings into question, what about Neo? If Neo was just supposed to be sort of a one-off character like Roman, why was she chosen to survive? Her fate was left up in the air, quite literally, at the end of RWBY Volume 3. We didn't know if she was alive or dead. And if she was supposed to follow in line with Roman, shouldn't she be gone? Shouldn't she have just been a one-off villain? Now gone? Just dust in the wind? Ha! I did it again! Puns are funny! But for some reason, the creators and writers of RWBY have decided to keep Neo around. Which begs the question, why? Why do we keep Neo around but kill Roman Torchwick off? Roman Torchwick died, yes, to show that the show itself was going into a more, it was moving forward. We're not dealing with the villains of yesterday, of our childhood anymore. We're gonna be dealing with big baddies. But his partner somehow survives the encounter and is possibly gonna come back to haunt Team RWBY because of it? It sort of doesn't make sense. Unless Neo has some more importance to the story than even Roman did. Let's look back to the events leading up to the finale of Volume 3. Neo was working with the Chaos Syndicate. She was working with Cinder, Mercury, and Emerald rather closely. Due to her disguised semblance, Neo was able to take on many guises to help further their plot along. She was able to be their fourth member in the Vital Tournament. She was able to be a ambulance driver to help get Mercury out of the arena. And she was able to infiltrate one of Ironwood's ships, take over the ship, and free Roman. Now, I'm not sure if that last part was supposed to be part of the overarching plan for the night, but she still made chaos and made things even worse for our heroes in doing that. So Neo was definitely working with the Chaos Syndicate and knew what their plan was going to be, even if Roman didn't. And you see, that's one of the big things that kind of dawned on me. What if Neo sort of got more information out of them than Roman ever could? Neo may have just gotten information out of them by being in proxy with Cinder, with Mercury, with Emerald. She may have heard them talking about their plans or talking about what they might do next. Roman, on the other hand, well, he would know what he needed to know when he needed to know. Plus, he was trapped in a ship for like an entire volume almost, so he wasn't really getting that much information there. And with that kind of reasoning, after Roman's death, you would think that the only people that she would see as allies would be the Chaos Syndicate, would be Cinder, Mercury, and Emerald. So why wouldn't she seek them out? Why wouldn't she try to go after them? Why wasn't she at the Grimscape with Salem and the rest of them? And that's when it dawned on me. She didn't know the big picture. She only knew the little picture. She only needed to know what she needed to know. But some information did slip from Cinder that Neo has probably used to her advantage. In RWBY Volume 3, Cinder states that she hails from Mistral, and it's there that everything starts to come together. Neo, of course, heard that. It was broadcasted on every single PA system all across the Kingdom of Vale. So, Neo would have heard it. She knows that Cinder hails from Mistral. Now, after the calamity that was the Battle of Beacon, and the way that the Chaos Syndicate had to retreat after Cinder is wounded by RWBY, Neo, by the time she probably got her footing and knew what was going on, was probably all alone. She had no idea where her allies had gone. But she remembered that Cinder had stated she hails from Mistral. So I would believe that's where she would have gone. So let's form a scenario after Neo is flung from the ship, leaving Roman to fight RWBY all by himself. Neo is able to use her umbrella to avoid the Griffin Grim as well as she can, and she's able to land near the Kingdom of Vale. Upon doing so, she starts to head back into the city, maybe using her camouflage semblance to mask her appearance so she isn't arrested by anyone, any of the good guys. And she's able to fight off Grim as she works her way through the city, knowing that she needs to get back to Roman. But it's in this moment when she finally sees that the ship above is exploding, it's on fire, and it's coming down hard. And she starts to race toward it, and when it finally crashes, she arrives at the crash site. Arriving at the crash site, we see that Neo figures out, and it dawns on her, that Roman did not survive the battle. She is overcome with emotion and probably cries at this revelation due to the fact that Roman was her partner and possibly someone that she might have loved. And with the battle now starting to wind down, things are getting very dangerous. Neo, seeing that the Atlesia Knights have finally all gone down, the Grimm are getting under control, and the White Fang is starting to retreat, the Huntsmen and the military are finally starting to get things under control. She knows that she needs to get out of there. She needs to find the only people that she knows she can trust at this point. That is Cinder. Knowing that Cinder was taking the fight to Beacon Academy, she starts to head that way. But upon arriving there, she finds no sign of Cinder and sees that it is completely overrun by Grimm and everyone is retreating. Being completely lost and not knowing what to do, Neo takes the only information that she knows about Cinder and starts to head to Mistral, thinking that maybe, just maybe, she'll be able to find Cinder. Now, if that's not reason enough to put Neo in Mistral in RWBY Volume 5, here's another idea. We know that Mistral has a real seedy underbelly full of bandits, criminals, and all those types of ne'er-do-wells. Wouldn't you think that Neo, once being a partner of Roman Torchwick, might be able to fit in with that kind of crowd? I mean, she don't take no punches from nobody. I mean, she kicks pretty much everyone's butt who she has ever come across. And since she was in league with Roman, maybe there are contacts in Mistral that Neo might be able to get to and get information from. Maybe Neo herself is forming some sort of gang that's gonna try to hunt down Team RWBY because she knows that RWBY is somehow responsible for the death of Roman Torchwick. So not only does this scenario put Neo exactly where she needs to be for the next volume, but it also makes sense lore and canon-wise in the story. And that, my friends, is where Neo's at. But hey, those are just my thoughts, and the real question is, what do you guys think? Hey everybody out there in YouTube land, thanks for watching this video. I hope you guys enjoyed, and hey, if you guys did enjoy, be sure to like and favorite this video, subscribe if you feel inclined to, leave a comment down below if you think my theory has any ground to stand on, or if you think it has a few holes in it. I'd like to hear your thoughts. And hey, be sure to check out my Twitter page and my Patreon page if you want to support me monetarily. But until next time, my friends, I want you guys to be a good person, tip your waitresses, keep moving forward. I'll see you guys next time. I'm out there in YouTube land. I'll see you then. Yay-ho!